Atenção para o toque de 5 segundos para mais uma transmissão ao vivo.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Spirit Tongues. We continued here together on this spiritual journey through the Gospel according to Spiritism. And we are reflecting together chapter by chapter in 4 languages: Portuguese, English, Spanish, and French. And our goal here is to understand how the teachings of Jesus can be applied in our daily lives in a practical and transformative way. And today's session is about chapter 4. We will discuss no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again. And to begin, let's hear the dialogue between Jesus and Nicodemus recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verses 1 to 12. Now there was a Pharisee, a man named Nicodemus, who was a member of the Jewish ruling council. He came to Jesus at night and said, "Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher who has come from God, for no one could perform the signs you are doing if God were not with him." And Jesus replied, "Very truly, I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again." "How can someone be born when they are old?" Nicodemus asked. "Surely they cannot enter a second time into their mother's womb to be born." And Jesus answered, "Very truly, I tell you, no one can enter the kingdom of God unless they are born of water and spirit. Flesh gives birth to flesh, but the Spirit gives birth to spirit. You should not be surprised at my saying, 'You must be born again.' The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where is it going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit." "How can this be?" Nicodemus asked. "You are Israel's teacher," said Jesus, "and do you not understand these things?" "Very truly, I tell you, we speak of what we know, and we testify to what we have seen, but still you people do not accept our testimony. I have spoken to you of earthly things, and you do not believe. How then will you believe if I speak of heavenly things?" Good night, Maria. Kisses. And so we think, when we hear Jesus saying, "You must be born again," we can imagine Nicodemus's doubt. He thought that physical birth was the meaning of that, while Jesus was speaking also of a spiritual birth. And the gospel, according to Spiritism, comes to explain that the Jews of that time had only a vague notion about the soul, and they called resurrection, which today we understand better as reincarnation. But resurrecting the same body is impossible. Science shows us that after that, the body's elements disperse. And Spiritism comes to clarify that the true law is reincarnation. So the return of the soul to the material life in a new body. especially prepared for their life. So when Jesus says one must be born of the water and the Spirit, he refers to the body and the soul. And at that time, it was believed that the earth had emerged from the waters. Thus, the water symbolized matter, while the spirit represented intelligence, the mortal essence. So the teaching is clear. We must be reborn in body and spirit to continue our journey of learning. And why is it necessary? Why is reincarnation necessary? Why did God create it? And only by reincarnation we can explain some apparent injustices of life. Why are some born with so many challenges while others have ease in their lives? Why do we encounter people we immediately feel affinity with, or sometimes a strong resistance? And the answer lies in past lives, in our reincarnation plan. God gives us successive opportunities for growth, and within our family, these bonds are strengthened. So, spirits who love each other, seek one another, reincarnate together, and reappear in different roles. A father may return as a child, a companion from another life may appear as a friend, a colleague, or even a temporary adversary, depending on the lesson needed for both to grow. So these encounters may seem random while we are here on earth, but every relationship has a profound purpose to teach, balance, awaken virtues in us, or to correct our flaws. And beyond family ties, there are also affinity groups, groups of spirits who meet again for common causes such as religious, cultural, scientific, social movements. And this encounter shows that life is not only individual, but it is collective. And every action we take influences and is also influenced by others that are walking with us. So true bonds do not end with death of the body. They expand across time and space because they are bonds of the soul. But material ties that are created only by the senses, they dissolve with the body. And uh, spiritual bonds will remain, will allow reunions, learning, and profound experiences. It can be in the family, at work, with friendships, or even in challenges along the way. And in every relationship we have today, we can see the reflections of past connections and also opportunities for us to grow. Each challenge we have, each difficulty in our lives, they are meaningful encounters so that we can reconciliate, or we can learn some lesson that our soul needs. And now we have some questions here to reflect upon. The first one is: have you considered that your current family may be a reunion of souls who have walked together in previous lives? What spiritual commitments might you have made before reincarnating, especially within your family constellation? What lessons is life asking you to learn, perhaps through challenges, through differences, or through love that grows in everyday relationships? And last, most importantly, how can you live today in a way that honors your reincarnation plan? So I hope these reflections help you bring more meaning to your life and to see your relationships with greater patience and understanding. So we have reached the end of today's episode. We reflected together on chapter 4 of the Gospel according to Spiritism and deepening these lessons on the need of being born again. And next week we will comment on the same chapter in French, continuing our mission to spread the gospel to all peoples. And now I invite you to a moment of prayer. If you wish, you can place your water to be fluidified. You can close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let us connect with God together. Jesus, Master and friend, we thank you for the opportunity to be here, reflecting on your teachings and on the life of the Spirit. Help us understand the true meaning of being born again, to be reborn in body and soul, to learn from every experience, to strengthen our spiritual bonds, and to embrace with love those around us, whether in friendship, work, or family. Forgive us for our mistakes, for the moments we forget to look beyond the physical and fail to recognize the soul in those we meet. May we each day perceive the lesson each relationship brings, whether of affection or challenge, and act with patience, kindness, and understanding. Illuminate our path so that we may live according to our reincarnation plan, evolving spiritually, strengthening our hearts, and contributing to the good of all. May your light surround us. May your peace fill us. And may we feel your Spirit in every gesture, every thought, and every choice we make. So be it.
Não esqueça de curtir o vídeo, se inscrever no canal e ativar as notificações.